With over 1/3 of Houston's current inventory being new construction out in the suburbs, it is really important to know what the market is doing, especially if you plan to go the builder route. Hello and welcome. I am Danielle and I'm a realtor here in the Houston area, and I help you either build or find your dream home before relocating. If you would like assistance, feel free to message me. I would love to help you out. This video is not intended by any means to bring builders down or to scare you about building a new construction home. It is, however, to inform you about what to expect financially and build quality wise. I think actually a lot of buyers and realtors are wary of going the new construction route just because of the headlines the last couple of years of canceled contracts and supply chain issues, and all of these things are very real and still happening. So it is very important still to do your due diligence and research the builder before you get into contract with them. If you would like a copy of my Houston Builders Guide with over 25 questions to ask a builder, as well as several topics to research before you build a new home, go ahead and click the link down below and I will make sure to email that to you. Pricing. There are so many tiers of builders and types of builders that depending on who you go with, it can vary greatly on what's included in the price and what is not included in the price. Unless you have actually built a home before, it can be very deceiving when you first begin your research in building a home, especially when you're seeing advertising for homes starting in the low 600s. I guarantee that home will probably be in the mid 700s by the time it is done. So let me just give you a short list of what is probably not included in the base price. The lot premium, the exterior selection of the house, whether it be the way it looks or the type of brick and material used on the outside, as well as the structural changes, things like adding a bay window or a lot of the features you see in the model home are probably not included in the base price. The base price typically does not include design center upgrades either, so unless you want carpet throughout the entire house and a backsplash that was cool in the early 90s or 2000s, then that is usually what is included in the standard price. There's also a lot of things in the base price that are not included that you would think are included, and all these little things add up. There are things like automatic garage door opener, the rain gutters, the sprinkler system, and even things like appliances. Typically for most home builders, the refrigerator, washer, and dryer are not included in the home. So if you're looking at a couple of builders in the same community that have about the same size house, but the base prices differ significantly, it could be that the higher base price has more things included in the standard features, things like white cabinets or wood tile throughout all the walking areas, an extended patio, the lot premium included in the base price. And then if you see one that is much lower base price for the same size house, I guarantee that a lot of those standard features are not included in the base price, and you'll probably end up spending twice as much in the design center to get what was standard in the higher base price house. And honestly, this is where a realtor's expertise comes in handy, especially if they've worked with a lot of new construction builders. They're going to be able to educate you on which builders have what and how much you're probably going to spend in the design center for each particular builder. Just remember, the builder typically pays for you to have a realtor as representation for you while you are building your home. The realtor works for you, the sales agent for the home builder works for the home builder. Another deceiving thing is the actual building of the home. More often than not, when you think of building a new home, it is advertised as making it exactly what you want and being able to customize it. And this is sort of true to an extent. Thing is that a lot of the builders in our master plan communities and suburbs are production builders, and they build on a national or state level. Most of the floor plans these companies and builders carry cannot be altered. They may have additional options for a floor plan, like adding some square footage or switching some rooms around, but unless it is in the original blueprint, they cannot alter the floor plan. These builders use a very specific blueprint that is made on a mass level to be able to reproduce this home hundreds of times. And if they have to change that drawing or bring in an additional contractor, then the home blueprint is no longer up to code or able to be built. Therefore, they cannot and will not do it because they'll lose money at that point. Sometimes they can make custom order exceptions, and from my own personal experience, I've noticed builders that are more on a state level instead of a national level have a little bit more leeway with this, but it's generally smaller things like adding a door or adding a window. But to entirely change the square footage or the floor plan of a home, they are more than likely not going to be able to do it. And I really don't want buyers to feel deceived when they go to build their home from scratch, that it is from scratch from the floor plan and that's it. So when beginning your research on home builders and floor plans, make sure you pick a floor plan that you absolutely love, with the thought that there's probably nothing you can change to that floor plan unless it is a structural option, to avoid disappointment later. Beyond structural changes, there are also design center changes, and you guys, this can cost you so much money to make your home modern and updated in the design center. Don't be deceived about this, and before you sign a contract, I would highly recommend asking the sales agent about the design center options, especially if you have a few big ticket items in mind that you intend to do when you build the home. Like if you want tile floor throughout the entire house, have them give you the pricing of that, or at least a ballpark figure of a mid-level flooring, so that you can kind of get an idea of what the major design center costs are going to be, so that you can budget appropriately and make sure that this is a good builder and fit for you to get what you want. If the sales rep says they don't know, or you have to wait for your design center appointment, then I would be a little hesitant to use that builder. They should be able to at least give you a ballpark figure and realistic expectations before you go to the design center. So I've talked a lot about production builders that let you choose everything within the house, but there are also a lot of builders, especially post-pandemic, that have very limited choices in what you can do when building a home. In fact, some of them have just simplified it to design center packages where you will pick A, B, or C, and within those packages you'll have a few color schemes to choose from. If you want to keep things simple and you don't like making choices, then this is a great choice, especially because it will keep the risk of unexpected costs a little bit lower. However, if you truly do want to build a house and you want to have a choice and hand select everything, then keep researching. There are plenty of builders who are still doing that. The builder contract is also where there are a lot of misconceptions. First things first is that builders use and write their own contracts. They do not use the state forms that you typically see in a traditional resale transaction. In fact, they will not even accept those contracts. You will be required to use the builder contract, and you are not allowed to change or alter any of the terms and conditions within their contract. Even if you were to hire an attorney to make some changes or to present something to them, they more than likely will not accept it, since they are a corporation and required to use their own forms. However, it is always good to have an attorney read over the contract and explain the terms and conditions to you. Now, things like promotions and incentives that builders typically run on a monthly basis, those things have a little bit more wiggle room for negotiation, and to try to have the builder include a couple more things, like maybe some appliances or a lower earnest money. Things like that can be negotiated with a builder if they allow it. However, in a market like today, it's not as common to be able to negotiate like that with a builder. Usually what the price is and what incentive they are running for the month is all they are going to do. Again, I am mostly referring to production builders that are large corporations that build in the suburbs here more often than not. If you are looking at a smaller builder or a custom home builder, that is an entirely different ballgame with entirely different expectations. Speaking of incentives and promotions, now that we are approaching a shifting market and builders are slowing down, they are definitely offering more incentives. In my personal opinion, I think the last quarter of the year is the best time to buy new construction. Their business slows down even more, and as they approach the end of the year, they really want to make their numbers and goals. Therefore, they are going to push a lot of incentives to try to get rid of the inventory they have left for the year. Also, buying a inventory home, this is a home in which the builder has already predetermined the structural and design changes and has already begun building the home before they list it for sale. They do not like these homes to sit for too long because it costs them more money. So usually if they have a lot of those sitting, they're going to offer a much better deal and incentives for that house instead of building one from the dirt. So if you are looking at a builder, I would encourage you to look at their inventory first, because if there's a home that's already built that you really like, you could potentially save a lot of money. Builder quality, the number one question I get asked is, what do you think of so-and-so builder? And I wish I could give a straightforward answer to people. However, it is not a straightforward answer. There are so many builders here and so many types and tiers of builders, and a lot of people have different expectations in what they're looking in for a house. For example, if you are going with an entry-level builder for an investment property, your expectations are going to be different than if you are building your forever luxury waterfront home. So it really depends on what you are looking for in a builder. Also, builders have different construction teams and different sales teams, and they could even have different suppliers per community. So it is nearly impossible to tell you how well a builder will build your particular home in a particular community. The truth is that they are production builders, and they are in the business to make money, and they will cut and save money where they can. So it is really up to you to do as much research as you can about the community and look at homes within that community that have recently been built to really assess the quality. Just remember, these are not custom homes, they are spec homes, and the builder is going to use some cheap material throughout the build process. I don't care who the builder is, all across the board, especially if it's a material that they know is going to require maintenance by the buyer. At the same time, it is important to keep in mind that these builders rely heavily on reviews and customer satisfaction. They do not want a bad reputation, and they do not want you dissatisfied at the end of the day. So they're not going out of their way to build you the crappiest house possible. And this is another reason why builders offer 1, 2, 3, and 10-year warranties, is to give you some sort of assurance that even if they do a bad job, you do have a warranty to come back on to fix those things. The best thing you can do to ensure that you are getting a pretty good quality home builder is to explore the community and to look at homes that they have recently built that are almost completed, so that you can see what the quality of the build is without all the bells and whistles of the model home. And also, if you are building, get the phase inspections and get a third-party outside inspector and have the builder correct those things. This will give you an additional peace of mind that somebody is looking at the builder's quality and work and hold them accountable. There are definitely some builders I prefer and lean towards more, because I truly believe that they build a better quality build and they truly care about customer satisfaction. Not all builders are created equal, and know what you were purchasing. If you are only talking to the sales agent of that builder in that particular community, they are going to tell you what you want to hear. It is really important to get an outside perspective and to visit more than one community and builder. New construction can be a great investment and build instant equity if you do your homework and have the right information and expectations. If you would like my Houston Builder Guide with 25 questions, or you are moving to the area and would like assistance, feel free to email me and I will make sure to get that information to you. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.